Hello YouTube, this is Hive Radical. This is kind of my face debut, as it were. I've got a new webcam and momentarily lending out my video camera, but I've not been eager to get a really clear image of my face out on the internet. I know of too many instances in which creeps have exploited information, gotten a hold of personal information, and have generally made life miserable for other people who were not sensitive with their own identity when it came to topics that seem to spark interest, such as Mormonism. So that's part of the reason I have this odd filter on me. I think you can see me pretty well, but I'm hoping it kind of helps keep the recognition down for somebody that might just see me on the street. Anyway, I'm going to address the Adam God situation, the Adam God theory, certain statements by LDS or Mormon leaders regarding this, and regarding just various statements about Adam, about God, and relationships there. So, first off, one of the people who's recently brought it up, I've addressed this many times in the past with many individuals skeptical of Mormonism or anti-Mormonism. I'm not classifying everybody as one or the other, but there are some very important things with the Adam God theory, with what has been said about the relationship between Adam and God and us. So I'm going to get into this. GRN Messiah, as he goes by his screen name. I prefer not to use the term Messiah in there because I just don't tie it in with him at all. But so I'm probably going to refer to him as that guy, or Gurnham, or something of that nature. We've got a statement by him from Spencer W. Kimball, and he contrasts this statement with statements either said or alleged to have been said by Brigham Young and Joseph Smith and others in the past. He has Spencer W. Kimball, which was a prophet of our church back in the 80s. He was actually the first prophet. Well, he was a prophet when I was born. So he says, "We warn you against the dissemination of doctrines which are not according to the Scriptures, and which are alleged to have been taught by some of the general authorities of past generations." I think it's important, stopping from the quote for a second, to point out that he says alleged to have been taught by some of the general authorities of past generations. He does not say have been taught by general authorities of past generations. It is his view, it seems to me, and it is my view, that the Adam God theory, as it's been stated, is not actually what was said by the likes of Brigham Young and Joseph Smith and others, who were relating things about Adam and about God and about titles and things of that nature that have a far more nuance to them than is given by the critics. And this way it's taken out of the context of what the situation was then, and it's taken out of the context of what was actually meant and actually said. A great many assumptions and other things lead off onto this. Spencer W. Kimball goes on, continuing the quote. I'll pick up where I said. So he says, "We warn you against the dissemination of doctrines which are not according to the Scriptures, and which are alleged to have been taught by some of the general authorities of past generations. Such, for instance, is the Adam God theory. We denounce that theory and hope that everyone will be cautioned against this and other kinds of false doctrines." Now, again, as I was relating, this is not saying that what was said back then by Brigham Young, by Joseph Smith, was false doctrine, and they are not inherently in conflict, and I will attempt to point this out going through various portions and excerpts of what has been said and what is in our doctrine and what it can mean. There's not a single meaning. I think it's important, before we go further in this, to realize the nature of a lot of prophecies, especially in the Hebraic tradition, among the Hebrews, among the house of Israel, in their writings, in their recording of prophecy. Dualism was a key component. Things that would be prophesied were not necessarily taken as meaning just this or just that, but it could mean both this and that, and to different degrees and levels and correlations with other things. So, say Revelations and Isaiah, some people could claim that, try to tie it to some specific event, when it was actually more a revelation, revealing a pattern of things that had happened. This is kind of similar to what will be happening, or what does happen in relation to this Adam God stuff.